Let me remember to unmute myself this time. Hello, welcome everyone to another VTuber interview. Today we have SleepyPandaMei, or just May, if you want less of a mouthful.
Yeah, May's fine.
So I'm gonna jump straight in, and I'm gonna ask you the first question.
Has joined the guild.
Welcome, Yusharo. Welcome everyone else who was here beforehand. But yeah, the first question is, how are you doing today?
I am awake, and that is something that is okay, I guess. I'm doing okay. I'm very excited to do this. I don't know if I actually told you. This is the first interview I've ever done.
Well, don't worry. It's not going to be too formal.
Yay.
It's mostly just questions, and then it devolves into conversation about random topics. Usually complaining about the current state of the world. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Like you do in 2021.
Yeah, we're very up with the modern times on this show, I guess. I apologize to anyone that might hear the rain on the window, as we have a lot of rain down here or up here or wherever's relative to where you all are.
That's free ASMR right there. That's free ambiance. What are you talking about? That's amazing.
Let me quickly add the tab ASMR to the tags, and then we'll get in all the sleepy people. But yeah, I may have to change the music because this music is a lot deeper than I was expecting.
Yeah, it's almost kind of intense. We're about to go into battle instead of just chill, which I'm fine with.
Well, I am part of an adventure guild, so going into battle is my speciality.
Wow. Do you have like a special weapon that you use?
I do actually. I have a sword and shield, which you can't quite.
Oh.
I don't.
See.
I'll chat a bit more later. But yeah.
That's cool.
I have gotta be ready for anything. You never know. For anyone who's seen my other interviews, we are in a different location today. We're in a nice, comfy cabin for the winter.
I love cabin.
Have you ever stayed in a cabin in the winter?
Not in the winter, but I have in the summer, and it was actually really nice. Actually, I don't like leaving my house, but that's one of the few times I enjoyed being somewhere. There's something about being somewhere that's kind of secluded and out in the middle of nowhere that is very calming to me. Yeah, it was very nice.
Maybe it's like a natural thing, because there's that whole thing about how humans aren't meant to be in large groups, like bigger than, what is it, like 150 or something? So maybe
I can't be in a large group of more than like 3. Like
That's understandable.
Yeah.
It's not
I had a story. I don't know if this is a good story to share, but I went to a con once, and cons get very crowded. And I was waiting in line for a panel with my roommate, and a bunch of people just suddenly crowded around us, and I like passed out on my roommate.
Oh no.
And you had to like drag me away, like, May, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. There's too many people.
I suppose that's the sad part about going to events is the big groups of people.
Which some people thrive for. I have many close friends who love being in like big groups or going to like raves and stuff. I can't even imagine going to a place with loud music and so many people, especially in like post-COVID. But like,
yeah. Well, I wonder what the lasting effects are going to be. But well, let's not think about that now. Let's think about the virtual world.
I really dropped us into the deep end of the pool, huh? Let's get our floaties, go somewhere else.
Yeah. Like, need the pool noodles and all that stuff. Got a lifeguard. I hope there's a lifeguard.
Isn't that like mods? Aren't mods like the lifeguard?
Yeah. My mods are usually busy, so I'm usually the mod. But it's fine. It's fine. If you don't mind, we're gonna rewind the clock a bit. We're gonna go back in time. And we're gonna ask you, how did you discover VTubers?
That's a good question. I actually love that question. So I actually have always really liked streamers in general because I find them very relaxing to just kind of have playing in the background. And I'm also a huge weeb. So when those two worlds kind of combined and I found out it was a thing, I was very instantly intrigued to watch more VTubers. And Taro recently had a redesign and it's going to be debuting, but a good indie VTuber friend of mine, Taro, started doing VTubing, and I slipped into her DMs one day and was like, hey, is this something you think I could do? And she's like, girl, let's make you a design. And then this happened.
So is it the classic, you went so deep down the rabbit hole, you became a VTuber?
Yeah, basically it was like initial interest and like, you kind of edge towards the side of the rabbit hole, you peek inside and then you realize that you're not a very balanced individual and you just fall right in and it's a never-ending fall. But it's pretty great.
Yeah, it's still a relatively new medium, if you will. But I'm excited to see how it evolves and stuff. Especially as we get more programs and easier to make models and stuff.
Oh yeah, like I remember back in the day, like you had to do so much coding just to get a simple PNG into OBS, and now Fugi is like a thing. Like things are changing so constantly. It's insane.
It's definitely exciting. What's the term? I always forget. This is basically the summary of my streams, by the way, is me trying to remember terms and words and stuff. It's fine.
Words are really hard,
There's so many of them. We just condense it down to like 10 words.
That we repeat over and over again. Then it just sounds like you're trying to subliminally like advertise to your audience.
I guess. It's just happy. Excitement.
You are very happy now because I said so.
Here is your entertainment.
I'm here for it.
This is it. This is streaming. So yeah, you mentioned I've forgotten the name. That was it Yuki? No, not.
Oh, Taro.
Taro, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say they are one of your main inspirations for VTubing?
Oh yeah. I probably never would have started VTubing without. I probably still would have watched VTubers, but I think there's this. I think with VTubing, there's like two different states of mind, and neither of them are two negative states of mind. One of them being, oh, I'm gonna spend all of this money and it's not going to be worth it, or there's too high of a hurdle, I'm not gonna even try. And I think I kind of fell into the latter, where it just seemed like way too much and like something I probably would not be able to because you heard me before interview, I struggle with computers very badly. and I was like, oh, that would be a hobby that's almost entirely centered around me knowing how to push a button correctly. Oh no. Not entirely, but the very bare minimum,
The virtual aspect of the tubing is an extra layer on top of normal streaming skills, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was able to talk to somebody, in this case Taro, and have her explain things to me in a way that I could. And even now, like she's very busy. But if I have a question, I can message her and be like, Taro, sometimes she'll come into my streams and be like, May dear, change this thing. You're so pretty. But yeah, it's helpful and I think that's a great thing about the VTuber community, mostly in general, is that they're very, very willing to help out newcomers if they find you, if you find the right people. Yeah.
Yeah, I think one of the best parts about being a VTuber is the community in general. It's a lot more close-knit compared to normal streaming.
Oh yeah, because everybody's out to help each other and do collabs or like do interviews like this or
Hell
and
yeah.
all of us seem to be very nice individuals for the most part. We have a few bad eggs. I'm not a big fan of all of the VTuber drama that happens, but I've been part of
Yeah.
several other communities like the fan fiction writing community or
Oh.
the AMV community or God forbid the Tumblr community that I fell into for a little bit. Like this is the first time I've actually been in a community and felt like I could make friends that were actually friends, I guess. It's very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
it's pretty good. We'll get onto those other communities later on, I'm sure.
Oh no.
Come on, we gotta view every aspect of the PandaMei, which is a good point. So why are you SleepyPandaMei?
Okay. So, basically, it's so interesting, right? Because a lot of people have to decide when they become a VTuber how much they want to establish intense, intricate lore, and how much you want to just be yourself as a streamer, or me, who's a weird hybrid of the two. I love pandas and I love coffee, and that's all I have. I think that my deep lore is that I down so much caffeine every day that I have to find some way to channel that energy into something positive, so I stream.
It's a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah, I have a pretty bad caffeine addiction in general, but let's make it positive, you know?
Okay, that's fine. I mean, caffeine is like one of the more morally acceptable drugs, I suppose. But we have
it's
worked
nice.
out.
It's nice. Just don't overdo it, guys.
Yeah. If you're seeing into the future, it's probably time to stop drinking. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, saying that, I'm drinking a Monster right now because I have a very bad sleeping pattern right now. But that's the life of a bat for you. So.
Same. Like that's the other thing. It's like SleepyPandaMei. I'm always sleepy because I never sleep. I'm just always either drinking coffee or not sleeping, which is the exact opposite of what a panda is supposed to be. It's kind of a...
Oh no.
It's a joke.
It's a good one. And you've got the hood as well.
Yeah, I do.
To complete the outfit.
Yeah, I do. See, it's so cute. There we go. I think it popped up. There we go. Yay!
It kind of reminds me of Samu Nyan's hoodie, which is a cat one.
I love her hoodie. She's here!
She's
Sam!
here. Hello.
Sam!
Ah, yeah, the bag raccoon is here. But yeah, was that a coincidence, or did you both plan it?
No, I did not know she was going to be there. Much like every other time in my life, Sam has just popped into it and was amazing. There she goes.
There she goes. We'll get on to more about Samu soon, I'm sure.
I would love to talk about Samu. Yes.
Well, the reason I found you is through Samu, so you can thank Samu for that.
Thanks for promoting me. You sweet, beautiful cat.
She's your manager now.
Oh man, I love a woman in power. Let's go. Let's go.
There we go. We got some tuber love going on. Tuber isn't VTuber, I should mention. I always forget that people don't really use that term. But anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next question. So we briefly went over your lore of caffeine and such.
Yeah.
So we went over this briefly. Of you messaged Taro. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
How do I start this, etc. When you actually did start streaming, how was it and what did you do?
Oh, that is an amazing question. So I started doing exactly what I'm doing now, and that's throwing things at a wall and hope that something sticks. am not very good at video games. And I think when I first started, I had this idea in my head that that's the only thing that you can do to make people want to hang out with you and watch you and spend time with you. And that's just not true. I think that the streams that I like the most, and I think I want to focus on more next year, are more like kind of like what we're doing now, like talking with people and just kind of vibing, enjoying other people's company, and maybe playing something like kind of chill.
Yeah.
However, that's what I like. My chat likes me to play scary games with loud screaming sound alert. That's what they like.
Yeah, sometimes you have to balance doing what you like with what chat likes.
Exactly. But I think that I don't know if I have. I think, man, I really am circling around just saying I'm a variety streamer, and I think that's probably for the best because I don't know what I'm doing. And you know what? The longer I'm here, the more I'm realizing nobody really knows what they're doing. Which is nice. It's nice.
That's one of the, I guess it's one of the main things that chat who haven't streamed before don't really understand is that none of us know what we're doing. So it's just...
No, not a clue. Not a freaking clue.
Yeah. I've spoken to Porom briefly about this, which is sort of like my VTuber mentor. That there are two types of streamers. There's variety streamers, which like people are there for the personality, which I think is mostly what VTubing is about. But then there's also the gamer streamers, which are like people are there for the gameplay. So yeah, I think being a variety streamer is good, and I think VTubing in general is more about the personality rather than how you're good at games.
And it can be both. You could be like one of those super VTubers who's really good at both. They exist, and I worship them daily.
Make a little shrine to them. Worship
them.
them.
Yeah, basically.
Would you say there were any other inspirations or people you sort of emulate? Any other VTubers?
I know that not everybody is a huge like fan of when indie VTubers say this, but like Hololive was like a really big inspiration for me. I think it's not a coincidence that I kind of, in addition to watching my friends who were becoming independent VTubers, fell into the Hololive hole at the exact same time. And I think that actually Myth, the first generation of Hololive English, like happened like right around the time that I was considering getting into VTubing. It was just a very happy accident. I had seen a Korone clip, you know, the Korone clip. Have confidence, you know?
A beautiful clip.
Yeah, I saw that clip and then I watched a bunch of her stuff and then I found out, wait, there are English VTubers who do this too, and that blew my brain. And I started religiously watching and I still do. I watch Fauna streams multiple times a week, and I've really been getting into Callie's streams as well. So I think that just having those additional, like, I know corporate VTubing versus indie VTubing is a big conversation in the community, but I'm a big fan of we're all content creators and we should all be appreciated the same, whether you're under a corporate flag or not. So I love them, and if they didn't exist, I probably wouldn't either, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think most VTubing wouldn't exist without Hololive, to be honest. So
yeah, right? I could go on for a very long time about how much I agree with that statement.
It's fine. I'm pretty sure that Hololive English and then the Shoujo probably introduced a whole ton of people to VTubing. So.
Oh yeah, and then I found out Niji Shanji was a thing. Like, not even half a year ago. They've been around just as long, and I only recently started watching their stuff too, and they're just as good. Finana is my idol. I love her.
So many VTubers.
There are so many
for everyone.
And there's more every day.
There is. There's probably, I'd say, maybe tens of thousands of VTubers, or more likely hundreds of thousands of VTubers.
At this point, yeah, and that's including people who, you know, say like I'm gonna debut and then like only stream occasionally. You're still a VTuber, so like there's so many,
Yeah.
so many.
And then even in VTuber, there's multiple umbrellas of 3D, 2D, PNG.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
How did you start, by the way? I started as a PNG tuber.
I started as a what's it called? The 3D program that everyone uses.
Vroid?
Yes.
Vroid model. Ah, nice.
A very quick rundown is me becoming a VTuber was a joke, and then I stumbled on a video that was about a Vroid, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check this out. And then it just snowballed from there of I made a 3D one, I started streaming, oh shit, I guess I'm a VTuber now.
You fell into the rabbit hole too!
I did. It wasn't even like me, it was like other people suggesting I should stream and stuff like that. But anyway, I'll save that lore for another day.
I mean, you have a very calming atmosphere, so yeah, I'm happy you do this. It's very nice.
It has its perks and non-perks. I guess cons and perks. But thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Shu. Yes, new layout. I'm just trying to catch up with chat.
Yeah, go for it.
We got some good people here. We got another panda, a comfy panda.
Yeah.
We have Sorka, Samu, of course. There's someone called SleepyPandaMei in the chat. Don't know who they are.
I don't know either. They're an imposter.
Imposter. Cozy Kevin, yes. But yeah, so, how has streaming been recently?
It's been, oh man, it's been fun, but also I'm running into that problem, especially, and you know, I think last year I didn't have this issue because it's when I first started, so I was still trying to understand what being on a schedule even is. And then this year it's like, oh wait, it's the holidays, I have family obligations, and I get sick this time of year all the time, and I need to keep a constant streaming schedule. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. I like to think that streaming schedules are kind of just an option instead of a actual commitment. So I think that a lot of VTubers right now seem to be experiencing burnout too. Just because a lot of the VTubers that I hang out with and talk with started roughly around the same time, which was about a year ago. So I think a lot of people are either one, experiencing burnout, or two, considering doing like rebrands or changing up their style of how they stream and stuff like that. So it's an interesting time to be a VTuber, I guess, is the short answer to that question. Streaming is fun, but it's also stressful.
I think the main hype is dying down, and that's also coupled with the fact that although the pandemic isn't necessarily over, a lot of places are opening up now, so people aren't trapped indoors anymore.
Yeah, so they're not always watching, and that's fine. They honestly probably shouldn't be. The amount of time I spend on my computer is blatantly a little bit unhealthy. But people should be going outside and, you know, being able to experience time with their families as long as they're properly vaccinated and wearing masks and
health and safety.
Yeah, as long as you are, and a lot of people are being forced to go back to work too. So, so you make a good point there. So there's that wanting to keep an audience and hang out and stream, but also having realistic expectations in addition to all that other stuff too. Yeah, you make a valid point.
So many commitments, so little time. It's all right. I think everyone will find their balance, and that's fine.
I went outside recently. It was awful.
Oh no. Is it cold?
I had to go to. It was cold and it was dark, and I don't like either of those things. And I had to go to the grocery store.
Oh no.
It was like, I have no food. I have no choice. And it always gets dark at like 5 p.m. now, so it's like I get off work at 4:30. I have 30 minutes of light.
Your quest is on a time limit.
Yeah, that was the walk alone. I drove to the grocery store by myself and bought myself food and came home, and it sucked. I don't want to ever do that again, but I will, because I have to.
But you did it. You got back safely. You got the loot.
I got the loot. I got my drumstick ice cream bars.
Ah. There you go. That's the epic loot, the legendary loot.
The legendary loot.
The drumsticks.
Do you have a favorite ice cream flavor? I am derailing everything you ask. I'm so sorry.
No worries, no worries. This is you're in charge of this interview, I guess. I just sort of facilitate it and host it.
This is my interview. This is my cabin now. I'm taking over.
That's fine. That's fine. We cleared out the spiders, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Champion.
I mean, we leave a few into.
_Rickshoy has joined the guild.
Oh,
Don't do that! Don't do that! No! All of the spiders have to leave. Unless you're a nice spider VTuber. Never mind.
We put up a note saying that everyone had to leave. Like, this room was booked for this time. But, you know, there's so much we can do. Hello, Tenosit? I hope I'm saying that right. What was the question again?
I asked what your favorite ice cream was, and we are both interviewing each other, Comfy Panda.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
It's a collab. It's co-op interview. What's my favorite ice cream flavor?
Chatting?
Ah.
Oh god, that's what these are. They're co-op just chatting streams. That's wild.
Basically, yeah. Gotta help each other out. Ice cream flavors. So.
If you even like ice cream, I'm making a big assumption.
Yeah, I've partaken in a few creamed ice a few times. I'm just trying to think. So, when I was very, very young, I'm talking like 3 years old, I went to TGI Fridays, and they actually had a cola-flavored ice cream, which was amazing.
What?
However, I have never seen or heard of it since. So nowadays, it's probably either salted caramel or toffee and fudge. Is my favorite flavors.
How about like a float? What if you made like a Coke float?
You could do. It definitely wasn't a Coke float. It was definitely like cola flavored ice cream.
Oh yeah. That might be a way to chase the high or something similar. Maybe.
I could do. Coke floats aren't hugely popular here. They're definitely sold here, but they're not that popular. Did you know in Australia they're called a spider?
A spider?
Apparently, according to internet memes. So.
What?
Everything's a spider over there, apparently. So. But what's your favorite flavor, or is it the drumstick flavor?
No, I just like the drumsticks because they're tasty and you can hold them in your hand really easy, and I'm lazy. I like mint chocolate chip ice cream. I think it's refreshing and sweet, and it has chocolate in it. It's like the gift that keeps on giving, honestly.
All
it's
of
very
it in
good.
one. It is also green, a rare food color of green. Well,
yeah,
actually,
and green is nice. Yeah.
Thank you. Not that I'm biased to green or anything. But yeah.
I love it.
What's everyone in chat's favorite ice cream flavor? While we move on to the next question.
You've moved on. I'm making a mental note to go buy ice cream and Coke and make a Coke float and call it a spider.
A spider. It's like a cyberpunk punky thing. You put on your sunglasses and wear a leather jacket. Like, I'm eating a spider.
I love it. That's good.
Sitting
I'm gonna
in the
do
dark,
that.
neon lights.
With no context, I'm just gonna walk through my apartment. I'm just consuming a spider. Don't mind me.
I think people will be very concerned. But...
Oh, strawberry ice cream with rum?
Is that adding rum to the ice cream, or is that like part of the flavor is with rum?
That is an amazing question. Or is it like a float?
Ah, how much rum do you have to float ice cream in it?
I have a drinking problem.
Oh dear. I can add some rum to my Pepsi if you want to have some drinking, or just stick to the coffee.
I can. Oh, did you know that you can have? Of course you can. But a drink that I found out existed when I studied abroad in China is there's this stuff called Bailey's, and it's like a creamer, but it's like an alcoholic creamer. So you can have alcoholic coffee that tastes like really tasty. It's very yummy.
Oh shit.
If you are of age, of course. People in chat. I am not suggesting underage drink, but if you are of age, I definitely recommend it. It's really nice, and it's not like a I'm gonna get smashed kind of drink. It's a I'm gonna sit here and have a nice time kind of drink.
I'm unsophisticated type of drink.
Yeah, you can pretend to be sophisticated at least.
Don't worry.
You're very sophisticated. I pretend to be.
Thank you. I've set the stream to mature only. So there shouldn't be any underage people in the chat. If you are underage and in the chat, legally I have to tell you to leave because I say naughty words sometimes. Or just stay very, very quiet and hope nobody spots you.
Shh, nobody can see.
Yeah. Oh yeah, your drinking age over there is 21, right?
It is, which is really lame because like you can join the military at 18, but you can't drink until 21. So that's a thing.
Damn. Wait, do they like check in the military? Like if you go over abroad to do war things, and then you drink alcohol?
If you go abroad, you're allowed to drink abroad, actually, which is kind of cool.
Because over here it's 18, so we're just used to it.
I visited China for the first time when I was still quote unquote underage by like 1 year. I was like 20, but I think the legal drinking age there is like 18, so I like was able to go into a bar and order. They didn't even card me over there though. They were just like, okay, here you go, I guess. It was interesting. It was very interesting. But
was it a good
it's
drink?
Interesting. It was great. It was amazing. There was like a ladies' night, and like drinks over there are already super cheap. And there was like a ladies' night where like everything was half off. I was getting like full drinks for like the equivalent of like $3 USD. It was amazing.
Oh, shit.
I had a very, very, very fun night.
Oh. Well, as long as you enjoyed it and we're safe, that's good.
Yeah, I have a fun story with that. My roommate, or not roommate, my like, what is it called when you share like a hotel room with somebody? Your roommate?
Temporary roommate?
My temporary roommate was like trying to get me back, and I get very giggly when I get drunk, so I was just like rambling nonsense, and he didn't know as much Chinese as I did, so we were in this elevator with this old Chinese couple, and they looked very concerned, and he was just like, May, what's the Chinese word for beer? And he just said it over and over to this Chinese couple, and they just kind of nodded and like understanding. It was very funny.
Yes. Beer, yes, we understand.
Yes, of course. Everything's fine.
Yeah, it's all good, yeah.
It's a fun time.
It's rum in the ice cream, okay. Like a shot of rum in a bowl of ice cream. Uh-oh, be careful, Shu. The alcohols. Have you ever drunk Baileys from a shoe?
No. Maybe I should.
I guess it depends on the shoe, because my ones have like insoles. I imagine they would just absorb the alcohol, which is not good, especially if it's cream.
You'd have to just eat the soles. That's gross.
Yeah.
Ew.
Okay. I would not recommend drinking from a shoe, but I'm not going to tell you how to live your life.
Listen, you do whatever you want, as long as you're being safe about it, listen.
Apparently you drunk / tipsy is a hilariously fun time.
Oh yeah, like 80% of my streams are drunk streams. It's a problem. It's fine.
Well, as long as you're staying safe and have
yeah.
a designated, I don't know what the correct term is, a designated looker after, a caretaker.
I have a designated wife.
That works. That works too.
She takes care of me. It's fine. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to just let loose and hang out with people.
Ah, you got many people in chat to talk to while doing it as well.
Yeah, like I think a few of the people who regularly come to my stream have expressed to me, like, on the side, that the reason that they followed was because they wandered into one of, like, my drunk Mario Kart streams. And I'm like, oh, those are very chaotic. I'm glad you had a good time.
Telling me you've been drinking and driving?
Yeah, don't do that unless it's in Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart is private property, therefore you're allowed to drink and drive.
There's a game that one of my friends likes to play, and I kind of want to get a group of VTubers together and try it sometime, because it might be a fun collab idea. But basically what you do is it's drinking in Mario Kart, but because you're not supposed to drink and drive, you have to pull over and drink, and you have to drink a specific amount of times each race, or if you get hit by a power-up. So before the race ends, you have to pull over at some point on an honor system and drink then, and then drive. And I think it's just fun. It's very strange, but it's fun. And it promotes not drinking and driving.
Yeah. Could you drink during the parts where you're not in control of the car?
That's a good, like when you're being hit or something?
Yeah, or like if you're shot out of a cannon or something like that.
Oh, that's actually a good question. I don't know. Because I don't know if I've experienced any cannons in Mario Kart. I might have to reevaluate our rules. I just pull over.
I mean, that's probably the safest bet.
Yeah.
You don't want to spill it all over the nice cart.
Well, yeah, especially because you can't, like, really drink and hold your controller either. You kind of have to, like, put your controller down, take your shot, and then pick up your controller and go again, and then hope that you don't lose. It's there's, like, a strategy to it. Especially because the person who comes in last has to finish their drink, so.
Oh, no. I would hate to be last, because I usually have a whole thing of rum and coke. So.
Yeah, it's a great way to get pretty messed up pretty quickly. But you can play it, like, less intensely, too. Just with, like, silly, like, pull over and drink as much as you feel comfortable rules. We have a friend who is kind of a lightweight, and that's her rules. It's just, you know, you pull over and drink whenever you feel like, sweetheart.
It's probably the safer bet. I'm a big lightweight, too, so...
I'm jealous of lightweights. I really...
It's way more economic, so...
It is. It's economic, and also it's just like you don't have to like drink a lot to have a good time, which is nice.
Usually whenever I've gone out, it's been like one beer bottle has lasted me in a whole night.
You have a Christmas hat.
Oh yeah. Let's pop that on. I turn off my redeems, but I forgot. Hopefully I don't have anything that'll interrupt the interview.
It's okay. It spices things up. I put a hat on. Like.
Well, I used to have a armpit fart redeem, but I haven't had that recently, so.
Oh, that is cute. I love it.
You should have one too. It's by default if you want to put one on.
Oh, how do I? Oh, let me see. Isn't.
So the small green button on the left.
Yeah, there's a Christmas hat.
If you type in hat at the bottom.
Shoot, I am ruining your stream.
No worries.
One day I'll learn how to do this properly. How do I even resize this?
The mouse wheel while dragging it. And then if you plop it on your head.
Oh, guys, I have a hat.
There you go. We've done it. So this is like an educational stream now.
I want to figure out how to do it without the menus popping up. I know there's a way to. I just haven't found it. It's so cute. I'm adding this to my redeems. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Then again, I have a Padaru model for Christmas, so maybe not, but still.
Uh-oh. That's a dangerous meme. Gotta sing the song every time.
Padaru, Padaru. I don't know the first half.
I don't know it very well, to be honest. So, but it's Christmas, you know. You gotta get in the spirit of it.
Are you a holiday fan?
I think I was a lot when I was younger, and then I moved out when I went to uni, and then I haven't really gone back since. So for the past few years, I haven't really done much for Christmas. But since I've started streaming this year, I have an excuse to, you know, get all Christmassy. So
I love it.
I'm excited. Tis the season, as they say.
As they say.
I might even be streaming on Christmas Day. I'm not sure yet.
You know, I love when streamers do that. I know I've mentioned her several times, but Taro did that last year. She's like, you know what, I know there are people out there that are alone on Christmas, or, you know, feel like they can't really get into the Christmas spirit, so you can just hang out with me instead. And I was like, that is the sweetest frickin' thing. I love it. Especially since a lot of people couldn't see their families last year.
Well, yeah, I guess it'll help a lot this year as well, so hopefully.
My buns really ruin this hat.
It's sort of like on the side of them. I mean, I've got ears, so I guess that doesn't help either. But...
I do too, but they're under the buns. That's secret lore. That's secret lore.
We're getting all the secrets now, the panda secrets.
Yeah, one day maybe they will exist outside of hair buns, but it won't be today.
Keeping them warm in the hair.
I am self-conscious about my ears. One day they will be exposed.
I hope we get to see your panda ears in full glory.
One day!
One day. Speaking of future stuff, do you have any plans for future streams, such as content or model updates?
Yeah, I do! Okay, so, one, I have a May 2.0 model in production right now. I got a sketch from the artist, and she's doing, like, an amazing job. It's exciting. And I'm gonna get a haircut, and you'll get to see my human ears, because I have those too. They are a thing. I actually don't know when that's gonna be done, because I don't like to rush artists, so I don't have, like, a specific thing. Like, I always feel bad, especially with model artists, when they're like, do you have a deadline? And it's like, no, please, take your time. You're, like, doing God's work. You're breathing life into a human being, basically. Like, take your time.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, so I have no idea when it's going to be done, but I got an initial sketch, and she's looking really cute. And I have a cute outfit. It's a little bit more modern and less hoodie. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for it. So that should be happening sometime, I think at the beginning of next year sometime in the first few months. And that'll be like a fun stream to have a new model. I also recently got an ASMR mic, so I'm hoping to do some ASMR streams. That'll be fun. I really like it.
The 2 ears one or a different one?
Yeah, my partner bought me a 3DO for Christmas, which is insane, and I have no idea how. I think she won Christmas this year. I have no idea what to do in comparison to that.
Make a personalized ASMR video, I guess, or something.
I would, but she doesn't like it.
Oh dear.
That's a me thing, and I know it's not for everybody, but I like it a lot. I listen to a lot of ASMR artists and VTubers. And
What's your
I was like,
favorite type of ASMR?
Oh, I like oh gosh, Fonda does these. Sarah's Fonda. She's a Hololive person. She does these like ear cleaning and hair brushing ones that are really nice. I like those. They're very nice. They're
very,
very nice. They're relaxing. Very relaxing. And I'm like, I want to do that. I don't know how, but I can learn.
I think you give your microphone a wig and you do it that way. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, it's such a sensitive mic too, so I don't want to blow out anybody's ears. I have a few friends who have volunteered as tribute to be my guinea pigs, but I think that's the only worry with something like that. If you're a beginner, it's something that could potentially hurt somebody's ears.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Wanna test it out. You could put on I think it's called a compressor, which is if it gets to a certain level, it will cap it out so it doesn't get too loud.
Oh, good.
But I'm not an audio engineer, so I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. And I told you at the beginning of the stream, and I think I've made fun of myself a couple of times, I'm not very good with computers or electronics, and I guess the 3DO mic requires like a sound box or something, so now I have to do research and to get one of those and like how it works and how the inputs work, and it's gonna be an adventure.
Wow. You'll learn a lot along the way.
That's true. But I like sounds and I like voices, and I think that's another reason I like VTuber so much. I can just put them on in the background. It's like a podcast, a visual podcast. So it'd be nice to do stuff like that. I also started doing this thing recently that I think I'm gonna make a staple on the channel, where I grab a random VTuber to watch the new seasonal anime trailers and decide what we're gonna watch or what we think is interesting. I did that for the fall season, and it was actually really fun. So we're gonna do it for winter too, and maybe I can find other weebs in the community who will volunteer as tribute.
I think there are plenty of weebs in VTubers.
Are you a weeby VTuber? Do you watch a lot of anime?
I have a very complicated relationship with anime.
Ooh.
I'd say I am a weeb, but I'm more of a weeb on the Japanese culture side and not necessarily
There.
anime.
There.
I have watched anime. I have partaken in the animes.
I have perceived.
I have perceived. But I mostly prefer either shows that are like one season or anime films. I don't really like committing to a show that has like 500 episodes or something.
That's fair. That is very, very valid. So you're not gonna watch One Piece, is what I'm hearing.
No, I think that's just a little bit too many episodes for me. I tried watching Pokemon this year, and I didn't even get through one season, so...
That's very fair. I think you have to be very invested in something to commit that much time. Like, I started watching all the Precures and made it through several before I kind of burned out, so I feel that.
What are some of your favorite animes?
Oh no, now you gave me a platform.
But don't worry. I specifically have a list of other topics, and anime is on there, so I'll get comfy. I'll sit down and sit back and get ready.
Yeah, babysit me, tell me when it's time. Be like, May, it's been a while. My favorite anime is March Comes In Like a Lion. It's 2 seasons long and technically ongoing. I don't know if it's even going to get a 3rd season, but I know the manga got licensed recently. Thank fucking God. But it's about a kid who plays shogi professionally. He's like a high school prodigy. But you find out that one of the main reasons he plays is due to the fact that he doesn't really have a choice, and it goes... it's an exploration of depression and trauma, basically, through shogi and this boy, Ray, and his interactions with other people. And I just like it a whole lot because I like being in pain. That's why Anohana is another anime I really like.
Is that the one with the bird?
Anohana? No, Anohana is about, without spoiling too much, it's about a group of friends who one of the members of the friend group died when they were a kid, like very young. And it's about the friend group as teenagers after this traumatic experience when they were kids, learning to cope with like the guilt and also rebuilding their friend group after they grew apart afterwards. But the twist of it is that one of the people in the friend group can see the ghost of the dead friend, basically. So he's trying to assist her with passing on, as it were, but he's not sure if he's insane. It's interesting. And very sad. It's only 11 episodes, actually. You said you like short anime, so if you like things that emotionally impact you, I would recommend that one.
Yeah, I can pop that on the list, the metaphorical list.
It's a very long title, but the short version is Anohana. I can send you a link later. But I tend to like things that are very sentimental or make me think or make me cry. But I also like Hunter x Hunter a lot. I like shonen. That's probably one you wouldn't like because it's like 100 episodes. But it's very good. I like it a lot. It made me very happy, and it became my favorite anime for a short amount of time. I just like garbage. I recently watched all of Rent a Girlfriend, and it sucked. I liked it a lot.
I guess that's the beauty of anime, is it's like an overall genre. So like every single genre there is in other medias, anime has an equivalent. So
yeah, exactly, and I like that a lot. Touching on what you mentioned though about film though, I love anime films. We actually have watched a few, and we have an anime night on in my community on Thursdays. We get in Discord and we watch anime or an anime film. We vary it up. Right now we're watching the Kara no Kyokai or Garden of Sinners movies, and they're intense. But in terms of anime film, I really like Satoshi Kon movies. Like Perfect Blue is really, really good.
I think I've seen that one.
I hope if you saw it, you remember it's intense. Perfect Blue is about a girl who's, I don't want to spoil it, but like disassociating really badly. And she's not sure. She sees like an idol version of herself because she quits being an idol to be an actress, and she has like a emotional breakdown.
I remember when Black Swan came out and I saw the trailer, I was like, wait, this is just Perfect Blue.
Yep, you definitely have seen it then.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. And you're like, I think I've seen it. I was like, if you've seen Perfect Blue, you definitely know you've seen Perfect Blue. You don't forget it, I guess. It's just always there in the back of your head.
Never leaves you.
Yeah. A Silent Voice is probably my favorite anime movie, but yeah. I don't know if you've seen that one or not.
I don't think so. I've seen a very weird mix of stuff. So if you want, I could just list off everything I've seen. You probably would have seen it.
Go for it.
So one of my favorites is Redline.
I know what Redline is.
It's very good. I have seen. Let me find the name of the one I watched with my friend the other day, which was quite good. I really like Summer Wars, Girl Who Leapt Through Time. That director.
Mamoru Hosoda!
I think so. I assume that's the one. But yeah, Summer Wars is probably. I think it's probably my overall favorite because that's one that I can rewatch a lot. What else? I watched Garden of Words. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I appreciate it.
Shinkai is interesting. Makoto Shinkai is the director of those of Garden of Words. They also did Your Name, if you've seen that one, and 5 centimeters per second.
I love 5 centimeters per second.
We could bond over 5 centimeters per second. It's one of my favorites. I love that movie.
I've tried getting so many people to watch it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's sad, and they're like, Oh, okay. One of my first times in uni, like my first day of going to university, I met with some friends, and they were trying to decide what to watch on Netflix. And I was like, "Oh, let's watch this. It's an anime." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." And then they were just quiet throughout the whole thing, and then I just left because I think I ruined their evening. But it was really good. I love it. It's like it's too real, in a way.
It is. It's beautiful and it's bittersweet and it's realistic, I feel.
So the film I watched with my friend the other day was In This Corner and Other Corners of the World.
What was that? I haven't seen that one.
It is, I guess it's not really a spoiler because everyone knows. It's someone that lives near Hiroshima. So it's dealing with that situation. I thought it was going to be very graphic, but it's not. It focuses more on the human side rather than, oh look, big explosion, people are dying. But it's a very interesting look, because in a lot of World War II movies, you tend to just see the good guys in quotations, the Americans, the Western side.
Yeah.
You very rarely get a realistic look at the other side, and I appreciated that, because they're people too.
Yeah.
And then the whole biggest bomb on Earth being dropped, but
Yeah.
it did a very good thing of, so the beginning of the film is it's Hiroshima, everyone knows what happens, but it gives you so much plot throughout the film that you almost forget that it's coming, so that when it does happen, you're like, oh wait, shit, that was gonna happen, and I like that. It was good. But it's called In This Corner and Other Corners of the World. That's the lengthier version. That's the extended cut.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask.
That one was on Netflix, right? Sorry.
Maybe.
I think so.
I haven't looked at Netflix in a while, but
I'll have to
yeah.
check. I think that one was on my list, and I hadn't gotten to it yet. I need to.
Well, I enjoyed it a lot. It's not actually a film about war necessarily.
About people, it sounds like, which is nice.
Yeah, it was good. It's essentially a woman that moves away from home after marrying and dealing with that. Yeah, it's very good. I won't say too much more about it. What else have I watched? A lot of Ghibli films, of course.
Of course.
Of course. I feel like that's like the entry point to being a VTuber, is you have to watch at least one Ghibli film.
I have met people who have never seen Ghibli films, and it blows my mind. I'm like, how? But then I haven't seen things too. Like, I'm gonna fix that. I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop at some point. Supposedly that's a necessity, I guess.
I've seen 2 episodes and it's very good, but I've never got around to watching the rest. So so much to watch.
There is. It's almost like new anime comes out every season.
No, so much. So was there anything this season you're enjoying?
There is actually a lot of really good stuff this season, and I'm doing a very bad job at keeping up with any of it. And there's stuff that I really want to check out, like I've heard Ranking of Kings is like amazing, and I have not touched it. But I did start Comey Can't Communicate, and that's a really great one. I like that one a lot. Madhouse also is doing one this season called Tacked Up Destiny. It is really stupid, but I like it because it's pretty and everybody's dumb. There's an idol anime, well, sort of idol anime called Selection Project that's out right now that's also kind of fun. I like that. Yeah. And I also am watching My Senpai is Annoying, which is just basically about workplace romance, which is fun. It's like Wotakoi, but a little more horny, but that's fine, I guess.
Anime is
whatever. It is what it is. It's just like, I don't know. I could go on a whole rant about how I wish that the anime about adult characters was taken a little bit more seriously. But it's fine. It's fine. Just have fun.
There probably is some out there, but you gotta
There
find
is.
it.
I mean, Wotakoi was pretty good in that regard. That's not this season, but that one was just about working adults who are also into like anime and manga and light novels and video games and stuff. That was nice.
These are probably all animes that I'll see memes of in a few months, and I'll be like, oh, that's the anime. Because that's mostly my exposure to animes is through memes.
No.
Should probably
Yeah, I
watch
get
more.
that.
Ah.
Yeah, anime's hard, especially when you're a VTuber, have another time-consuming activity. There's so many, like, I have an Annie list, and I have, how many shows am I technically watching right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
We do have Samu in the chat, the weeb queen, if you will.
I'm technically watching 35 anime right now. At
How
the
many are
same
you
time.
actually watching?
All of them. But no, Sam is ridiculous. She's watched like thousands of anime. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. This is one of my favorite things about Samu is you'll mention anime and she'll be like, yep, seen it.
Yeah, like she's seen everything. Everything. Listen, that's only what I'm currently watching, and that's because I was good this time and went and actually put some stuff on the dreaded on hold list that I'll never actually go back to.
Oh.
Ever. But I really do need to watch Ranking of Kings. That one looks so good and unique and different, and everybody says it's good. And I opened it in my Funimation browser one day, and I almost hit the play button. And then I didn't.
What is it about?
From what I understand, it's about a deaf king or kid who wants to be king, but he's let me just pull up the synopsis. Oh, here we go. Unable to hear, speak, or wield a sword, Prince Boji doesn't seem like a typical heir to the throne, and his kingdom agrees. But his fateful encounter with Kage, a shadow on the ground, gives him his first true friend. The two set off on a grand adventure, and together form a bond that can overcome any obstacle, even becoming king.
Oh. So I'm guessing it's a fantasy.
Yeah, like a slice of life fantasy about a disabled character. And I love anime that feature characters with disability. Like, for example, A Silent Voice, the movie I brought up earlier. It's about a deaf girl, a girl who speaks primarily through like a notebook, and the whole movie is actually about her bully because he bullied her in school, and the whole movie is basically his redemption arc, as it were.
Oh.
Like trying to make things better and become a better person kind of deal. And dealing with social anxiety and coming to terms with the fact that it's okay to forgive yourself kind of deal. It's very interesting. I love that movie. It's very good.
Seemed to be that anime is more willing to deal with these topics than a lot of other media.
Yeah, for sure.
There is that I hate this. I don't know. You know what I mean. Statistic, whatever the word is.
Statistics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the one manga of, is it called Demon Slayer? That has outsold the entire American comics industry. That one manga.
It's so good though.
Oh yeah, it's. I do need to. Should I get into it? Probably.
It's fun. It's a great anime. I haven't read the manga, but I like the anime. It's fun. It's a fun show. But yeah, it is kind of crazy. I did not know that. It makes a lot of sense though. That's why.
It's. I think it's partly down to. Most comics are obsessed with superheroes, which. Have their niche, and also I think in Japan they're more willing to deal with more interesting topics and ideas, as opposed to just like sticking with the same cliche every time. So hopefully, the Western media will learn from that and branch out more. But we'll see what happens.
I think that the Western comics are just kind of like, we'll stop beating this dead horse when it stops spitting out money, kind of.
But it has. I think it has stopped spitting out money, but they're still going for some reason.
I mean, I think Marvel and... I mean, I am very uneducated in this sphere, so this is just my opinion. But like, I don't know. I feel like Marvel and Marvel movies and stuff like that have really kind of taken over that kind of hype, and I think it renewed at least a little bit of interest in it. But do I have any numbers to support that idea? No, I don't. But yeah. Be an interesting thing to do a research project on, like just what the current state of like comic books are and how much like Marvel movies and such like that have kept it kind of afloat, and whether that's still kind of a thing.
Well, there's definitely more comics than just superheroes, but I think superheroes are definitely the largest genre, you could say. I'm trying to think what I get, because I know I get some comics, but it's mostly like a few Batmans and like some sci-fi stuff. But it's very hard to find good Western comics.
I liked Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like I watched that movie and thought it was just kind of okay, and then I read the comic and was like, this is brilliant. Like this is really good.
I had a very big Scott Pilgrim face, so I have them all. I have read them all. I was obsessed with them.
I heard the author, writer, artist did like another thing, and I want to read it, but I haven't. I don't know what it's called, but it's supposed to be really good.
Something to do with a star, I think. I can't remember. But yeah, I think he's probably living off the money from the movie. So
Probably.
because that was like a very big thing.
It was. It really was.
I think that sort of opened my eyes to, comics aren't just superheroes, they're like other stuff. A very melancholy, I guess, comic is Scott Pilgrim. Like it's a comedy, but it's also kind of very depressing.
It is. It is soul-shatteringly depressing and so self-reflective. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, you go in, you're like, oh, Scott Pilgrim's like a cool dude, right? It's like, no, Scott Pilgrim's like an asshole.
Yeah, he sucks. But I cared about him so much by the end of the comic. Like, they do a really good job at, I don't know, making a person that you would normally hate, like, human. I don't know. They did a really good job. I love that comic. I should go back and read it again.
You should read the color versions with the extra scenes and stuff.
I think I've seen the meme where it's just like this panel was funnier in black and white or something.
Yeah, it's actually in it. It's quite good.
Yeah.
The Scott Pilgrim comics make me nostalgic for a time where I never existed, of like 90s Canada, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was never in Canada. I mean, I was around in the 90s, but I wasn't like that old. I wanna go back to like rock and stuff. That's Scott Pilgrim. It's not necessarily anime related, but have you heard about the? Well, I guess it is anime. They, when Star Wars let a few anime studios make some episodes.
Yeah, I need to watch those. They're like a series of shorts, right? I forget what it's called. I want to watch those.
Visions. I highly recommend them. I am biased because I really love Star Wars, but yeah, there's none of them were necessarily bad. There were like one or two that were like, okay, they aren't that great, but they weren't bad. So highly recommend.
Trigger did one of them, so I kind of have to. There's like a character in it that looks just like Leo from Promare, and I'm like, well, if I have no choice, I have to watch these. Promare is another good anime movie, by the way.
I'll have to add that to the ever-growing list of animes.
I could
Yeah.
just send you like a giant list of anime that is so good, and you'd be like, "This is too much," and I'd be like, "It really is. Please don't do this to yourself."
All right, I'm gonna take a year off VTubing. I'll be back
Yeah.
with lots of anime that I've watched.
We'll just do we'll do a follow-up stream, and we'll talk about all the anime.
Hello, welcome back. I have consumed lots of anime. I will only speak in anime references.
Oh god. Just become a JoJo, like re-debut as a JoJo's character.
Oh shit. I don't think I'm energetic enough to be a JoJo's character.
That's very fair.
I guess we're VTubers, so we have become anime.
We are.
Major and kawaii dasuni.
Kawaii desu.
Oh. How was it I used to say to annoy my friend? It's Ohio gozaimasu.
Oh god, I love being cringe and using things that I shouldn't say. Like I use the term yamete kuda stop all the time, and I need to stop.
It's the good stuff. Porom's another anime fan.
Yay!
I mentioned her earlier when we were talking about the multiple audiences of Twitch.
Hello, fellow weeb. I hope we can be friends.
I'm assuming everyone in the chat is a weeb, because everyone seems excited to talk about anime.
It's a fun topic. That's something I've considered as like maybe doing streams where I just grab random people kind of like this and just talk about anime, but I'm like, would that get old too quickly? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think you would get a lot of people interested.
Maybe. I will write it down as a possible idea. Just be like, come on my stream and tell me about your favorite anime. I'll watch it so I can talk to you about it on stream.
Like a book club, but for anime.
Yeah, like a book club. I did do oh god, that's a dark corner. I did a anime podcast before I became a VTuber.
That is a topic we were going to come back to.
Yeah, it was fun, but it also became like homework, like because we did it weekly, so I had to like watch a new anime like every week and come up with critical things to say about it.
Did you have to finish it?
Yes, you had to finish it.
What? I'd find it hard enough just watching the anime in a week, let alone writing stuff about it.
Yeah, it was fun, and it was a way that I could force people to spend time with me and talk about anime. And it worked for like, we did it like for like a couple of years, and it still technically exists. We still upload sometimes, but it's like, I don't know, it was a different time, but it was fun, but it was too much. Like, can you imagine having to like watch an entire, and sometimes it was like really long shows. Like we did a review of Hugto Precure, and I did that to somebody, and I feel so bad about it. That's a 52 episode long anime, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no.
Or close to it.
Was it hard to come up with critical stuff about animes, especially if you were rushing them?
I tend to be full of a lot of opinions, so not really, but it was hard to do that every week, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't hard to do per se, but it was exhausting to have to try and do every week, and I think that's one of the reasons we started with 4 people, and now we have 2, and I think that says a lot about it.
It's not passed the test.
My favorite thing that we used to do, and it's like the only thing we do now, is that we get really drunk or eat an edible or something and then watch an anime movie and then record right afterwards whatever our thoughts were and then post it. It was very funny.
What were some highlights from that?
Probably when we decided that doing Angel's Egg was a good idea. Like, that was not a good idea. Nobody should ever watch Angel's Egg under the influence. You should watch Angel's Egg. Like, you 150% should watch Angel's Egg. It's a visual masterpiece, and it's definitely a passion project by the. I'm forgetting his name, and I wish that I remembered. But it was definitely a passion project for that director, and it's gorgeous and amazing. But you should never watch it when you are not in your right mind. Don't do that. We did it, and it was a great review, but don't do that to yourself.
It was a fun time, but do not do this.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself. I did it so you don't have to. There you go.
For science, of course.
For science. We also watched, it never got released, and I'm sad, because I think we lost the video file, but we did a watch of Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, and that's a great movie to watch under the influence, because it's just pure happiness. It's like a romance movie about two content creators who through like a random accident get to know each other. Like they bump into each other at the mall and have to return each other's phones, but then they become close friends and learn to, like, you know, one of them's like a super popular like Instagram video person, and the other one is like somebody who writes haikus online and has like 2 followers, but they become best friends. It's really cute. It's
It does
adorable.
sound pretty good. Very appropriate to modern times.
Yeah, it was soft, and it had like some of those scenes that only can exist now, like when like they go to follow each other on Twitter. It's very cute.
Oh, will they?
It's
Won't they?
adorable. Yeah, they do. It's very cute. I also just think that awkward teenagers are funny.
Yeah, it's. I guess because it's relatable, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was a super awkward teenager, and some things never change, you know?
I think everyone was an awkward teenager. If you weren't an awkward teenager, then I don't know. Did you like mature at all? I guess.
Right. Oh, good times. That's a good movie. It's a short one too. It's only an hour. It's only an hour long.
That's
And I
like a
think
long
it's-
episode.
Yeah, it's basically an OVA. I keep going back to anime. Please shut me up. But there was another one that we did that was A Stranger by the Shore, which is a movie about internalized homophobia and a gay couple, basically. And it's very good. I like that one. That one's also only like an hour. It's very good.
We need more of these quick films to go through, I guess. Although I'm probably biased.
I mean, quick films that say a lot are honestly sometimes better than films that are very long and say too much, if that makes any sense.
I think I just don't like series because they tend to like have this story they want to tell, but then they have filler, and that I just really don't like it. Yeah. Like, don't waste my time. I just want to see the story. But I can understand why people like it.
Yeah, for sure.
More content. But if we try to break away from anime briefly,
yes, please get me out of here.
we'll probably come back to anime. But you mentioned you were in a number of communities before.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about those.
The other big one was probably like anime music videos, which is so cringe, but it's so fun. Like where you take like anime and you splice the clips or change them to fit with music that you like. I like doing that. That's very fun. I still do that sometimes. I got a award at an anime convention earlier this year for a video I made, and it made me very happy. Very excited.
How many have you made, roughly?
Oh, a lot.
just a few.
Like a lot of them. Because I think the AMV community is very similar to the VTuber community. You know, you'll be like your little studios, and you have like people who make stuff together and do little collaborations and stuff in addition to the content you make yourself. So if you get in deep, like all you're doing is sitting in front of Vegas Pro at 4 a.m. wondering what happened to your life.
I've spoken to Samu a bit about it, and AMVs are like not popular in Europe for some reason.
Oh, that's fair.
But do you have any? I can't remember Did I ask it just now or not? I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you have any tips for making them? Because I have made, they're not quite AMVs, but I have been making some dancing videos, which are roughly similar.
Ooh, that's fancy. I want to hear more about that. But honestly, it's the same thing that I would give as a tip to new VTubers is try it and see if you like it because it's such a time-consuming activity. And don't get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of stuff because there's so much stuff. You have to figure out what kind of program you want to edit in, which is the big one, right? So you want to do Vegas Pro, Adobe Premiere, whatever. And after that, it's just like start talking to people because they're going to give you tips. And then from there, it's just, honestly, if there's something you want to make, just make it. Yeah, it's fun. Like, I've made really stupid videos that there was no point, but I had a good time. And then I've made things that are really important to me, like gifts for friends and stuff like that. It's just like any other kind of art, I think. You just have to dedicate your time and energy to it. I saw a video that another VTuber, there's a VTuber, Chickaboom VT, made. She made a Genshin Impact video, which isn't technically an AMV, it's like a GMV, but I watched it and I've had it on repeat in a tab for days now. People make amazing stuff in that community, and it's one of my favorite things to do. Sometimes I do AMV streams. They're all unarchived for very like, obvious reasons, but
yeah, a lot of music.
Yep. It's kind of a risky thing to do in general, but I haven't gotten in trouble yet. I think I'm okay. Probably.
I suppose it's like, what's the worst they're gonna do is take down your video, so...
Yeah, you can get DMCA'd, but I'm not that concerned with it. But yeah, editing is very fun. But a lot of it is just seeing what... Because everybody edits in a different way, and everybody has different ideas. But if you have an idea and you want to put it on a timeline, you just should. It's kind of like drawing. If you want to draw a picture, and there's something in your head that you want to make, you just have to practice, and then eventually you'll be able to make it. It's the same thing with video editing. You just have to learn the tips and tricks, and then learn how to... It's like learning how to like use a different brush, right? Only it's use a different effect, or learn how to keyframe, or whatever. Please edit. Everybody should edit.
It's a very important skill as a VTuber, is learning how to edit stuff.
Yeah, and I should be using what little skills I have to make like reels and stuff, but I don't. I should do that.
Has anyone made a VTuber music video yet? With using clips of VTubers?
My mod made a joke video. A couple of joke videos with my VTuber model. She took one of my karaoke streams and edited over.
Oh shit.
And then she also did... I have a redeem on my channel where I go ooh goo very loudly and cutesily in the most cringe way possible. And she made a compilation AMV out of that.
So many agoos. Is it a reference to something, or just a generic sound?
It's a reference. So there's an anime called Canon 2006, and there's a character in it that whenever she gets flustered or upset or anything, she just goes, "Oh go," or whatever. And multiple different ways. So it was a joke. I put it on there as an anime reference, and then people just started spamming it because of how cringe it is, I guess.
I suppose. Chat is a fickle thing that like different things.
Yeah, I love my chat. They're funny people.
Greetings,
and
champion.
also kind of
Cafe Kaicho
evil.
has joined the guild.
Welcome, Cafe.
Cafe! Hello. Yay!
What are your favorite things about your chat?
I like that they are dedicated to a bit, I guess. They will take one bit and they will keep it there forever. and it's kind of like having an inside joke with a group of friends, but it's your chat. It's nice. I like it. I like it a lot.
I suppose that's another aspect of VTubing is cultivating a community, if you will. And that sort of stuff.
Yeah, which is honestly kind of terrifying. I'm like, oh wow, all of these people could be doing better things with their lives, but they want to hang out with me? Oh God, I gotta make sure I make this entertaining.
It's a big responsibility. It's like having children, but with a bit less commitment.
Oh God, please don't say that. God, don't do it. They're gonna do the thing if you say
Uh-oh, what thing is this?
No, I don't want to talk about it. Oh no, it's happening!
Oh dear,
There's the bit.
There's the bit.
There's the bit. There's the bit. Oh boy.
Well, are you gonna take responsibility for your children?
Oh God, please don't make me do that.
This is
You're grounded.
This is Child Protective Services. You've been.
I'm doing my best. I give them their insult redeems and everything. I swear. Oh boy.
It seems you've been not distributing your channel currency evenly.
God damn it. God damn it. You caught me.
We got you. I'm not sure what the punishment is. Something to do with anime, probably.
Probably everything is something to do with anime, right?
Yeah, especially VTubing. You can't get away from it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you kind of are. I saw a comic recently that basically compared VTubing to LARPing, and I had to sit there for a little while.
I mean,
it's not incorrect.
I would. So with LARPing, I would say you're playing a game, whereas with VTubing, you're. I don't know.
Live action role playing.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's live action, and we're specifically virtual.
Oh, you're right. We're varping. Virtual.
We're virtual
acting.
I hope you all are big fans of Varpers, chat.
I really hope that's not a term for something else, and I just said something really bad. That has happened to me many times in my life.
I hope so
God.
too.
Oh no.
That would be not good.
I'm not gonna Google it, and we're gonna remain ignorant on this chat. Don't say anything.
Varping.
If it's something else, don't say anything. It never happened.
It does sound something like the furry community would be into, but
Maybe.
probably. I wouldn't put it past them. The average Varping enjoy.
I want to love something as much as the furry community loves everything that they love.
It's true. They do get as much enjoyment as they can out of it.
Honestly, that's all we're trying to do here. Have a good time. And I think we're doing very well. I'm having a good time.
I hope so. I mean, if we have a good time, chat has a good time. Although sometimes chat has a good time and we're not having a good time.
I mean, I think that chat enjoys when I'm having a bad time. I'm playing through Alien Isolation right now on my stream, and I can't play it. It got to a point where I had to have I had an emotional support Canadian who's one of my mods. He was sitting there with me so I wouldn't get too scared. It got to a point where we just had to do like PS4 share, and he's playing the game for me because we're not making progress anymore.
Yeah. You're very brave. I cannot play that game.
Oh gosh, it's scary. I don't even understand why it's so scary, but it is. Like, it petrifies me. I can't move.
I think it's the sort of cat and mouse nature of it, where you're being hunted the entire time.
Yeah.
It's the footsteps I hate.
Oh God, yeah.
Big heavy footsteps. Like you hear them getting closer and closer, and then they stop, and then they just like come at you fast. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, if they see you, you're screwed, basically. Like.
It's activating a primal fear inside you, I guess, is a thing. I mean, I also have a relationship with Xenomorphs. Every time I have a nightmare, it's only ever snakes or a Xenomorph. That's the only thing I ever have nightmares about.
Interesting! I wonder what that says about your subconscious. It's very focused.
Probably. I mean, when I was like 6, I got up at like 4 a.m. and turned on the TV and I watched Aliens. So that's probably had some effect on my development. It's not like I dislike Xenomorphs. Like, I do like them and not like terrified of them. But like in dreams, that's the only thing that like
Yeah.
I have.
That's fair. That's an interesting fact. We're learning all the interesting facts today. I like it.
I'm not a dream scientist, so I'm not sure how to dissect those.
I
Dreams
don't
are
want
just
to
weird.
know. I don't want to know what my dreams mean.
It seems here that you like anime, according to your dreams.
Oh, yeah, probably. I have very strange dreams that don't make any sense most of the time. Or scary ones. I don't like scary dreams. I'm not a fan. I'm very fascinated by like lucid dreaming though. Like people who can do that, that's wild. I wish I could do that.
I think I can slightly, but it's not exciting. It's mostly just me realizing I'm in a dream, so I do nothing.
I think I've done that at minimum. Like I think there have been a couple of times where I've realized I am dreaming and just kind of wait. I have sleep paralysis too, which is not great. So sometimes like I'm half awake and I see things that aren't there, like at the end of my bed or on my ceiling, and I can't move. It sucks.
The
I don't like
stuff.
Yeah, sleep paralysis is not fun.
I've heard it's like I've looked into the science of it. It's like where you're mentally awake but your body isn't, or something.
Yeah, it's like a weird in-between kind of thing. It used to happen a lot more when I was younger, but still happens a bit as an adult, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it at all.
At least you can know it's not real, so hopefully.
Sometimes it's like you have to remember that it's not. You have to remember. Wow, we've gone a lot of places today. We've gone from talking about favorite anime to sleep paralysis. I'm loving this. This is great.
I mean, they're the two ends of the scale, I suppose. Anime and sleep paralysis. Oh, I should probably ask you the question I ask everyone. So if you were on a desert island,
Oh no.
and you could only bring one games console, you had the electricity and the monitors. You can't have a PC before
What? No!
before you say PC.
Lame!
What would you bring with you?
Lame!
Because that's too easy. Everyone would just say a PC.
Well, I would say a PC, but not just because PC, but because I've recently gotten really into Genshin Impact, so I'm like, I could just play Genshin forever. But if that's not allowed, probably. I bought a Nintendo Switch OLED recently, and it has Animal Crossing on it. And I think it would be very funny if I was stranded on a desert island playing New Horizons would be funny.
Living the dream.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably die very quickly because I can't survive to save my life, but like, my remaining days would be greatly spent playing Animal Crossing.
Found someone on this island. There seems to be no survival gear around except for a Nintendo Switch.
What a sick, twisted situation. Someone would have had to set that up. Like,
Then they're gonna judge you on your island as well.
yeah, exactly. They will. They totally will. They'll be like, wow, look at this survivor and all of her weeds. Good job.
I mean, if you're gonna be on an island, you gotta at least get rid of the weeds, right?
Your island ranking's like a B. Get on my level, prisoner.
Oh.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, we could save you, but your island's not very high level, so...
Yeah.
Battling a cheetah.
Why would there be a cheetah on a desert island? Why is that happening, Cafe? Why?
It's a desert island, except for that one cheetah.
Listen, if I had a PS Vita, maybe I would finally finish Persona 3 Portable. Maybe
Oh,
I'd finally
shit.
finish it.
Now that's one of the only Persona games I've played, so...
I have played Persona 5, and Persona 5 was my first Persona game. And I'm madly in love with it. It's one of my favorite games. And so much so that it inspired me to buy a Vita so I could play Golden. That's the only reason I bought a Vita. And then I tried to play Persona 4 Golden, and I got, like, past the prologue and never touched it again. And then I was playing Persona Portable with my my significant other, and we just kind of felt... We do that all the time. We'll start a game together and then not finish it. Maybe we will one day. One day.
I mean, the Persona games are very meaty games. There's a lot to them.
Yeah, they're long. They're really long, and if you mess something up, it kind of sucks because you can't really, like, go back and fix a social link if you're, like, past the point where you don't have time and stuff like that. It's weirdly anxiety-inducing. Like, when I played Persona 5 the first time, I tried to play with a guide because I don't play video games very often. I just thought all of the people in Persona 5 looked cool, so I wanted to play the game. And then I got addicted to it, so I was like, oh, I'll just do a guide so I don't mess up, because it's such a long game, I don't want to mess up. And then I got tired of following a guide and just played it however I wanted to play.
Yeah. I feel like it's a hard thing for people to do, but I think I suggest most people should do that.
Well, because it takes away the role-playing aspect if you're following a guide. Not that there's anything wrong with using guides. Please use a guide if you need a guide. I use guides all the time because I'm bad at video games. Like, I'm not anti-guide, but I do feel like it is it removes the experience of choice, which is kind of the appeal of role-playing games. But that's just my opinion.
I guess it's like also the whole point of games is sort of you doing it yourself as opposed to just following something. Like, if you're just going to follow the guide throughout the whole thing, then you could just watch a Let's Play, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Like, visual novels are probably my favorite kind of, like, video game. And normally when I play through the first time, I do it, like, without a guide, and then I'll go back. 'Cause visual novels, you kind of need a guide if you want all the endings. Like, it just is what it is. There's so many nuanced choices. Or that's how I feel anyway. But I like to completionist visual novels, so I can see everybody's stories and, like, what all the bad endings are.
experience everything.
I had one experience, because one of my first visual novels was Kato a Shoujo. And I went after Hanako, which is like the girl who has the burn on her face, because I thought she was just my type, and I liked her, and I wanted to romance her. And this is a soft spoiler, but there's a choice that you make towards the end, and I thought, I was so sure I was making the right choice. I was so sure. So I was like, oh, there must be something else that I messed up that I keep getting the bad ending. So I, like, reloaded multiple times trying to figure out what I did wrong, because I always would get to the final choice and fail. And I finally looked at a guide and was like, no, this girl just wants me to say this other thing. I wasted so much time.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
It's funny you mentioned Katsura Shoujo because that is my favorite visual novel.
It's good.
And I can't play like any other visual novels because they're just not Katsura Shoujo.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, the first time I played it, I had like never played a visual novel probably. I'd probably played like 1 or 2 before. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna make the choices I would make IRL, and we'll see how it goes. And I got to the very short ending where you die. So I was like really depressed. I was like, what? This game is so short. I just died. It was terrible. And then I like after a while I was like, okay, I'll give it another try. And then I actually started on one of the main routes. And then it said like Act 2. And I was so fucking happy because I was like, oh shit,
You didn't die this time.
I didn't die, and this game like is actually long and actually has content in it. But yeah, I was obsessed with Katsura Shoujo for a while. I probably still am. I don't think I'm over it yet. But yeah, it's a very, very good game.
I need to go back and finish it because it's one of the few visual novels I haven't actually completionists myself through. I only did Hanako's route and Emmy's route. I did theirs. So I haven't done any of the who did you go for?
So I believe Rin, the artist.
The painter girl.
Yeah, and then Shizuko, the deaf girl. And then I did Hanako. I haven't done Lily or Emmy yet. Every time I go back, it's like, okay, if I play this game again, I'm gonna be obsessed for months, and it's gonna like put me in a mood for months. So I have to like make sure I've got a long time. But yeah, could you please spell? Oh yeah. I will put it in the chat now.
I got ya.
Every now and then, I don't think I spelled it right. I'll let you do it because I don't think I spelled it right.
I
But
think
every
I
now
already
and
put it
then-
in there. I'm pretty sure I did it. Yeah, let me double check if I
you
did.
But yeah, every now and then I go back and look at the website and see if there's any news, but there's never any news because they said they were going to work on a second one. I think it's over, but I'm happy with what we had. The music is good, the story is good. I feel like on the surface level, everyone assumes it's just like a weird kink game.
And that frustrates me a lot because the girls are all treated like people, and I just like that there's a visual novel about disabled people. I think that's a cool thing, but I understand kind of why people would maybe make that assumption. But
Yeah.
it's frustrating because it's not a kink game. It's a game about actual people who suffer with disabilities and you getting to know them as people, and then maybe having a rendezvous in like a storage shed or something. But we don't have to talk about that part. Like most of it is about building human connections.
I mean, sex is a human connection, so you know.
It is. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Disabled people get horny too.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you.
Maybe I'll go back this Christmas season and finish one of the other routes. Because Lily, is it Lily? Lily is Scottish, so I'm interested to play through that.
Lily's really popular too. She's the blonde blind girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's really popular. I should try Lily's route. I hear she's real sweet. I was hoping I can't remember her name, but the pink-haired girl who was like the translator.
I can't remember. Yeah.
I wanted her to have a route. She doesn't really, and I was really sad about it. I was like, man, maybe they'll come out with like a patch or something where you can romance her, because I found her endlessly entertaining and interesting, and I read about how she plays out in the route she is a part of, and I'm like, I want to know more about you.
Yeah, she was an interesting one. I I did that route, so I know of the situation.
It's interesting. I didn't play it, but I know about it.
It was good. Everyone play Kazra showed you. At least one playthrough. At least one real playthrough. Don't get the shitty ending that I got. That disappointed me.
There's also like an ending where you can end up with like the incel best friend guy, I think.
That's the ending I was talking about.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the original ending I got.
Oh, that's rough, buddy.
Yeah. I was like, alright, I'll play how I'll play in real life. Oh, I'm gone.
Oh,
Okay.
that hurts when you play as yourself and you get a bad ending.
It's like well known in my friend group that happened.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, the music's good. It has animations that are good. They have some art books on their website. You should look at them at some point. They're pretty interesting.
I don't want to replay Katosh. I wish it was a game that I could stream, but for obvious reasons you cannot.
There
It's
is
a fun game, though.
a mode you can turn on. Like you can actually turn off the mature scenes in the options. I would feel incomplete doing that. So
I was about to say though, but that takes away part of the. I don't know.
Yeah.
It takes away part of the game, but it's a great game. People should play it.
I'm glad to found someone else that's actually played it for once.
I love visual novels. I have a fun fact that I could tell you off air, but I really love visual novels. I play a lot of or used to. I don't have time anymore. I was trying to play an Ultimate game on stream, and then it kept getting canceled, and I need to bring it back. God damn it.
Oh shit, you should get more of them.
I was like, I'm gonna experience my first Otome game on stream with Bustafellows, and we did one stream and never came back.
No. I guess they're also hard to stream because there's also a lot of reading involved, and if you don't like just reading for a stream, then it's kind of hard.
It was a fun stream though, because it was a fully voiced visual novel.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wait, those exist?
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit.
Also, like, or you can play like a game that has like a visual novel kind of theme, but like is a full video game. Like for example, my favorite video game series of all time is Danganronpa, and that is basically just a visual novel with a fancy like gameplay element. Honestly.
Yeah. Perum's been playing Ghost Trick and 999.
I need to go back to 999, but the problem is I hate puzzle games. I hate puzzle games so much. I got to the first room in 999 where you just have to get out of the room before you drown, and I couldn't, and I threw the game. I just stopped playing.
I think I watched someone play that, and yeah, like one of the objects is in a really obscure place. I've got hiccups now. But yeah, I don't blame you for that. Steam version. Just one sec.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I will look up Ghost Tricks. I don't know what that is, actually.
That is a DS game, which I don't know how to describe it. It's sort of like a visual novel where you know what? I think it's one of those games that's best experienced. So I would recommend experience it.
I'll put it on the maybe list, because that's one thing I want to do next year too. Is I want to focus more on content I like visual novels and ASMR and AMVs and stuff like that. So maybe I'll put that on the short list to look at least. I got.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, I was going to say the only other visual novel I've actually played and completed is Doki Doki Literature Club. That one was a wild few days of me playing it.
Did you play it without any spoilers? Like,
yeah.
Did you?
It was like quite fresh when it came out.
God.
But I was
I'm jealous.
Oh, has it like? I suppose like everyone knows the main thing about it now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I haven't played it, because I'm like, I feel like I'm not gonna experience this the way that it was intended.
Hmm.
Not that I don't respect it or anything. I do tremendously. I think that, if anything, I would argue Doki Doki Literature Club got some people actually interested in visual novels, which is nice. But yeah, I've never played it all the way through. I started it, and then I was like, man, I already know where everything is gonna happen. Maybe.
Sometimes it's not about the ending; it's the journey along the way.
Yeah, maybe I'll get over it, because I've it's kind of hypocritical of me, because I've gone and played things I know the ending of and still really enjoyed them. Perhaps.
I mean, you
Perhaps
could give it a year for the hype to die down, and then go back to it.
Yeah. Maybe if Chad is like, I really want to see May play with Doki Doki, I'll do it. Maybe. I'll ask them.
Put a census out, see what they want.
Yeah. Well, because that's the thing, right? Because like a lot of people, I like to think the visual novels are probably pretty niche. So it's like, if I'm gonna drag my community through a visual novel, I want it to be something that would be entertaining for them as well. We did a couple of visual novels on stream, which is nice.
What's some of your favorites? I don't know if you've mentioned them yet.
We started playing one of them on stream, but then I kind of dropped it because I didn't think that people were really enjoying it. But Eden, I think it's like Eden with a little apostrophe next to it. It's like the last love song on this planet or something like that. It's very pretty. It's a Minori title, and I really like Minori a lot. A lot of my other favorites I can't tell you on air because they're porn, but
No, I think you can mention the titles unless you want to keep them private. But
yeah, I like what is one that is not horrifyingly terrifying? Cartagra was really good. Oh, Cartagra was real good. That one's like a murder mystery. That's also kind of a porn game, but it's mostly about the mystery, and it's brutal. Like, I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but you're basically trying to, as a journalist, figure out why all of these girls are going missing, and you're specifically trying to find the sister of one of the main characters, and it just gets really wild. It's wild. My fiance bought me a game recently called Devil in the G-String, I guess, and it's supposed to be real good. I'll probably play that one on stream because it's not.
Is that a sequel to Devil Wears Prada?
I think so. No. No, I really liked the anime Talentless Nana, and I guess it's the same writer, so she bought it for me. He's like, this is my favorite visual novel, and I was like, oh, I'll play it. Why not? I like some other ones, I'll tell you off air.
No worries.
I found somebody who likes visual novels, so I will have to poke you occasionally.
No worries.
Have you read this? But yeah, I played through a lot of stuff. It's fun. I need to finish F, A Tale of the Two. I need to finish those. I bought them years ago and haven't finished them. What's another good one? Oh god, we actually played through Planetarium on stream. That's the only visual novel we finished. That's a short one too. It's real short. It's just about the end of the world, and there's this dude that takes shelter in a planetarium where there's a robot girl who's slowly becoming defective, trying to get people to come and see her planetarium show.
Oh, I mean, I can see that being pretty good.
It's real good. The ending hurts real bad too.
Oh no. I think one of the most famous ones is something to do with the moon. What's it called? Journey to the Moon? No. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's something to do with the moon. There's Kian's here.
Hi!
I used to have a meme with Kian, but instead of visual novels, I'd call them virtual novels.
I mean, not incorrect, technically. You see, you need to make a power move. You need to play through the entirety of the original Fate Stay Night visual novel. That's what you need to do.
You sound like a lot of reading.
Yeah, that's why I haven't started it. I have it on my computer, because I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm I'm gonna play the infamous Fate visual novel, and then I haven't done it.
I've heard of this Fate business and how it's like 20 different pieces of media.
Oh, 20. You sweet summer child
Oh,
swaddled in
oh
the
no.
cashmere blanket of ignorance.
Oh no, what have I stumbled into?
Oh boy.
What if King Arthur was a lady? What if Zelda was a girl?
Fun fact, I've never played a Zelda game. That's something I
Ah.
want to do on stream too. Have my first Zelda game experience.
Which one would you start with?
That's why I haven't done it yet. I can't pick. Because everybody I ask what's the best Zelda game to start with gives me a different answer.
I think it heavily depends on what you want. I would... What would be a good... I guess just Ocarina of Time is just like the classic Zelda game. That's probably a good... or Link's Awakening. I'm
Link's
very biased.
Awakening.
I would say Twilight Princess, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good starting point.
A lot of people have said Link's Awakening. To me, wasn't that the one that had the remake on the Switch recently, or am I going crazy? There was one that was recently remade in like a little chibi style.
I think it was Link's Awakening. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe I could try that. I've seen some amazing clips of Sam playing through Zelda and getting really frustrated.
Oh no. There's a lot of speedrunners for it. Poffle is someone I watch who speedruns Twilight Princess a lot.
Speaking of visual novels or games that are kind of like visual novels, I will be bringing back 13 Sentinels at some point because I was playing that game way long ago, but it recently got an announcement that it's getting a Switch release in 2022, and I'm like, oh, we're bringing that back. We're going.
About?
Oh, 13 Sentinels is such a good game. It's... Oh god, how do I even explain it? It's hard to explain. I might have to, send you a trailer or something, but I think it's one of those games that's best to go in not knowing anything.
Oh, okay. I love those games.
Yeah, it's and honestly, I finished the game and I'm still like, that was wild. I want to go back and and it plays it from multiple different characters' perspectives, so you have to kind of piece together the story, and it jumps between timelines and, well, sort of. I can't explain it. It different things that happen at different moments in time reflect in the story and the information you know. And 13 Sentinels did it better than any other game I've ever played. It was so good.
I'll have to put it on my list. I did finish Bloodborne recently, so I have to look for a new game to play on stream.
Oh, Bloodborne.
Have you got a history with Bloodborne?
I streamed it once. It was awful. It's so hard.
Have you not played a Dark Souls game before?
No.
Oh boy. If Bloodborne was your first, I can see why that would be a bit difficult.
It was so awful. I didn't even get past the first area. I played it for 2 hours and I felt so bad. So I was like, this cannot be entertaining to watch me fail this bad over and over and over and over. But no, everybody was still there. It was nice.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but somebody told me recently that watching people stream Dark Souls is fun if they are either new to the game or if they are very, very good. So they probably enjoyed you learning the game, I imagine.
It was an experience.
It's a game. Let's stay with that.
I remember watching my roommate try and fight I think it was called the Blood-Starved Beast or something.
That sounds about right.
For an entire summer, he was just trying to beat that one boss, and I would just eat ice cream on the couch and watch him suffer. So maybe that was just my redemption to not be able to get through the tutorial of the game.
Kicked ass. Maybe you can go back. Maybe you should get a coach on to help
That might be funny. I'm technically actually supposed to play Code Vein. That was a subathon goal, and I ate spicy noodles while making my character, and then never actually played the game. So maybe I'll go back and try.
With some
Code
games,
Vein.
making the character is the fun part, and then just don't need to play it. But I haven't actually played Code Vein, so.
That was what people wanted me to play, but if people would prefer Bloodborne, maybe I'll just like grab somebody who is good at Bloodborne and then frustrate them by not being able to follow simple instructions. Yeah, that sounds like
I'm trying to think, would you prefer Dark Souls first?
I don't know. I think I have like Dark Souls 3 because I share my library with like both of my roommates. I only have Bloodborne because I think it was like free or something.
Okay. Because Bloodborne is like, it's definitely a bit harder than the others. Yeah. Dark Souls 3 is pretty good. I have a controversial opinion that I actually prefer Dark Souls 1 over Dark Souls 3. People are gonna crucify me over that, but I think Dark Souls 3 is a good game, but I think Dark Souls 1 is a better overall experience. But anyway, before we get into that too much, I was gonna mention, if you like virtual novels, there is a game I've been trying to get into and haven't had the time called World of Horror, which is, it's sort of like a visual novel, but with a little bit more gameplay in there. It's like got like a bit more puzzle in there.
Interesting.
I haven't managed to get into it yet, but it's essentially it is a horror game.
Oh, fun!
But yeah, it's essentially a town in Japan in the 80s or 90s? It's one of them. And stuff happens, so you play as different students solving mysteries. But I tried playing it on stream once during Halloween and realized, oh, I need to actually learn how to play this first, because there's a lot of different buttons and stuff.
Wait, you have to know how to play the game to play the game? No.
Well, it's in like,
Yeah, I get you.
yeah.
I get you.
There's
I'm
there's
bullying.
extra steps. Bullying's allowed here, which is fine. But yeah. I'm trying to think of what other visual novels I actually know of, but I don't actually know that many.
That's okay. It's okay. It's a pretty niche kind of genre for one. And even like I play a lot of visual novels, but I still don't know all of them.
It's like a
at all.
picture
There's
book.
so many. Yeah. It's
I
like going to a library. You're not gonna know every book on the shelf. That's impossible.
So there is a lot of books. Books have been around for a while. There's definitely a lot of them. I'm trying to. I forgot to write notes down for people. I usually do, but one I remember is there are rumors circling around that you have slept in a bed with Samu. Can you confirm or deny?
I have, and it was beautiful. She's a great bedmate. I'm probably not a good bedmate. I snore.
Ah.
No, so I met Sam because
Greetings,
we went to
champion.
Shirley
we went
Lucas
to
has
a
joined the
con
guild.
together. God, like how many years ago now? And we just ended up being roommates. And
they
I
were
feel
roommates.
yeah, we were like temporary roommates for the weekend. And I feel so bad for her because that's when I was going through one of my drinking binges. So I like definitely had one night where I was just like in the bathroom for a very long time and she had to get help.
Uh-oh.
Like, is May okay in there? She bought so many plushies too. So many. I don't know how Sam like can fit all of those plushies in her bag.
Have you seen the entire collection?
I haven't somehow, but just that one trip to NDK, she bought so many plushies, and I almost died at that con, actually.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, one of my, like, the girl who runs it is a sweetheart, and also a VTuber, by the way.
Ah.
A radical VTuber, no, radical UA, Jesus. She runs, like, everything there, and she was very tired, and I was being, like, drunk and loud like I do, and she put a pillow, like, over my face, and I don't think she understood how long she held that pillow there. I couldn't breathe.
Uh-oh.
It was so scary. She apologized for it later, but I don't think she was all there.
Uh-oh. This is a stressful situation.
Yeah, can you imagine? Like, just being super stressed out and just so overworked and tired that you accidentally murder somebody. Anyway, Jesus.
That would end up on your record, I suppose.
I mean, it wouldn't have ended up on mine. I would have been the deceased, but still.
I mean, it would be ended up on the cause of death, right? So I guess it would be on your record.
Yeah. Smothering isn't the worst way to go, I guess, but not my top choice. I'm gonna put that out there. I've almost been smothered to death at cons twice now. The first time was an accident, though, because I used to take sleeping medication because I have really bad insomnia. It's part of the lore, and it's true. Anyway,
true lore.
Yeah, but I used to take sleeping medication, and I went to a con with a group of friends, and I was laying on a bed sleeping because my medication had knocked me out, and one of my friends had, like, sat down next to me while he was talking to somebody and didn't notice that he had, like, pushed a pillow over on my face, and he was, like, leaning on it.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Well, you never know. Next time you go to a con, you might be smothered again.
Maybe it's just an ongoing thing.
Maybe. You should bring a snorkel along so that you can survive.
For air. Oh, gosh. But yeah, Sam's a great temporary roommate for cons.
Would you recommend a TripAdvisor review?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were both very shy and awkward people. We didn't talk as much back then, but it was very fun.
I guess if we didn't know each other well, then.
Yeah, I'm happy she still likes me despite giving her the heart attack when she thought I died in the bathroom. So.
You know, it's like a test. Of you know, like a good. I forgot what I was going to compare it to now. Pretend I said a very good analogy that made sense. If I had $1 for every time I said I was almost smothered by a friend at a con, I'd have $2, which isn't a lot of bits, which is weird it happened twice.
It's a lot, but it's weird it happened twice. Yeah, that is kind of strange. Oh gosh, good times.
What else has happened at cons for you?
Oh, there's so much stuff that's happened at cons. Have you been to a con?
Yeah, we don't have as many in the UK. I've mostly been to video game ones,
Nice.
but I have also been to some of the weeb persuasion. There's one near me that I can't say because I'll dox where I live.
That's fair.
The main one is MCM, which is Movies, Comics, and Media. I've been to that. I don't know if I have any interesting stories though.
I mean, as long as you had fun. I have a friend over there that goes to Tokonatsu, I think it's called. It's like an outdoor con over in the UK. Yeah, like it's like a camping trip at Anime Con.
Oh.
It's fascinating.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I thought it was crazy too. But he lives in like the Essex area, kinda. So I don't know. Yeah, how far away that is. But anyway, yeah, that's the only one I know about because he talks about it. Yeah, cons are fun. I want to go to more of them, but like you can't now because it's so COVID outside.
Yeah.
I was thinking of going to one this year. I really want to go to NonDeskCon again, which is in Colorado. I want to go there again, but I don't know anymore after the Anime NYC thing that happened over the weekend. Like that kind
Oh.
of re-terrified me of going in public to cons. But we'll see. Yeah, I guess like a bunch of people got contaminated at Anime NYC. Like there was a bad breakout or something.
Uh-oh. I mean,
Yeah.
that doesn't surprise me. There's con flu already, so...
Yep. And people are just not being responsible as they should, honestly. Like if everybody was following the rules and like, you know, being safe and taking care of each other, maybe it wouldn't be as bad of a problem, but you know.
Well, maybe
Anyway.
next year it'll be more safe. I know I'm definitely going to try and go to more. There's a it's like a board game con called the UK Game Expo, which I go to every year, which is very good. Well, I didn't go last year, or the year before. But it's very good. It's very nerdy.
You like board games?
More the role-playing side of stuff, but yeah, I like board games. I'm very fussy with them though, but... 'cause-
You get salty?
I wouldn't say I get salty, it's just that there's a lot of board games that I think are too rules heavy, and they just stop being fun. Like if I have
Fair.
to wait half an hour for my turn, I'm just gonna lose interest.
That's valid. That's very valid.
But I do like the sort of role-playing story games that you get, especially ones that are random every time you play. I think they're the best. You a
Like a new experience.
big fan?
I like board games, but I only get to play them when I get to hang out with people who really like board games. Like, one of my mods, Zachary Fields, we went and visited him at his house a few years ago on the 4th of July, and we literally just stayed indoors and played board games all day. I'm trying to remember the ones that we played, because all of them were really fun, but I don't remember the names. I wish he was here, because then he could tell me. There was one that was like, I think it's called like Settlers of Catan or something.
Yeah, that's one of the big ones, yeah.
I like that one. And then we played another one that was like a card game, but like everybody had a role, but it could like mess with somebody else's role.
Oh, that's could be werewolf or it could be Salem.
No, it wasn't. It was like a card game. And you were like collecting. Oh god, I'll have to ask. It's very interesting.
Is it Coup? Like a
Coup!
sci-fi?
That's it. I think that's it. Yeah. And everybody has like a role, but you don't know what everybody else's role is. So
And
you're
you can
trying
lie.
to figure out, and you can lie, and like every like person who has that role, if you call them out and they're not that role, then they get kicked from the game basically.
Yeah,
that kind of-
it's like a game of chicken, if you will.
Yeah, it's so fun. I like that one a lot. I was really bad at it because I'm bad at lying, but it's such a fun game. Yeah, it's cute. That's it. What's the other one? We played one where you're like monsters and you do dice rolls. Tokyo something.
Oh yeah, Tokyo... I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, there's a lot of cubes involved.
Yeah, there's cubes. You can collect cubes to like buy cards and I get like special powers, and I like that. I like board games. They're fun. I never get to play them because nobody I know likes board games, but they're fun. I've never played like role-playing ones though, like D&D and stuff. I've never played.
Ah, well, I have a role-playing stream that you might be able to join one day if you want.
Maybe that would be fun.
It's like a one-player role-playing thing. Samu might be joining at some point for one. But yeah, I'm a big fan of role-playing games and stuff. So.
They're good. I blinked and we've been talking for 2.5 hours.
Oh shit.
I have stolen you for a very long time.
I mean, I've stolen you technically. I think I invited you, so.
That's fair.
There's no worries.
I will not fall on the sword then. You can do it. You have a big sword. You can fall on it.
yeah. I mean, yeah. training. I've got armor on, so it won't hurt me too much.
Perfect.
But yeah, if you want to end soon, we can. I'm getting hungry.
I was about to say we might have to because I'm so hungry. I haven't
No
eaten
worries.
today. It's I know it's very late for you, but it's only 2 p.m. for me. So I've gotta
It's only 10:15 here, so.
only a 10:15 p.m.
I mean, I'm a bat, so it's like lunchtime for me. So.
That's fair. One of my mods is the same one I mentioned earlier. He like comes on stream sometimes, and I'm like, yeah, I'm streaming at like this time, and it's like 2 a.m. for him. I feel like I'm ruining his sleep schedule.
Well, if anyone in chat has any questions for May, now would be a good time to ask.
Would you like me to ruin your sleep schedule, chat?
Do it.
I can ruin your sleep schedule.
Do you have any questions you want to ask quickly?
Let me think.
As I prepare to ask you the final question of the stream.
Let me think. I feel like I've pelted you with so many questions, and now that the spotlight is on me, I forgot how to think about questions.
That's my trick. That's
Well,
how
what
I
made
get
you want to do interviews? Like, what made you want to do that?
So there's a show that I've never actually watched it. I've only heard of the concept of the show. But there's a show called, I think it's called Humans of New York, where it's essentially just I mean, I've never actually seen this. I only know of the concept of this, where they just talk to random people in New York and they just tell their life stories, and I found that interesting. And then there's another show called How To with John Wilson, which is a guy who lives in New York and documents his life, and he just like talks to common everyday people about stuff. So when I became a VTuber, I was like, all right, I need to think of content to do. So I was like,
Always the hard part, right?
yeah. So I was like, maybe I'll just like talk to other VTubers, because there's like the standard collab of we'll get together and play a game. But if you're doing that with someone you don't know very well, then it's sort of quite hard. So I find that like if you do an interview first, you sort of like have a conversation, you get to know each other. So it's like a good first thing.
Like an icebreaker.
Yeah, and like, you get to know each other. You just chat the shit. It's also relatively the easiest content to make because it's just a conversation.
It is and isn't, right? Because it's on you to make sure that the conversation doesn't die.
Oh yeah. It's very stressful because I have to listen to your answer, and then I also have to prepare the next question or the next like comment on it at the same time.
Yeah, and then you might have people like me who keep guiding the conversation in 18 different directions. How rude.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. As long as the content keeps flowing, that's what happens. And then also when I first discovered VTubers, I had a phase of watching Code Miko? Yeah, Code Miko. And she just interviews other streamers and VTubers. It's like I'd love to do that. So
that's so cool.
It's it's a mixture of a few things, but mainly, yeah, I just wanna talk to VTubers really. But yeah, my final question for you is, who do you want to raid?
Oh shoot! What are my options?
It's up to you. Pick anyone.
Let me see. Let me go see who's streaming right now. Oh, this is so fun. Who do we want to raid?
Have the power.
I should never have power ever.
If you can't think of anyone, I can lay down some options for you. But...
Yeah, I'm trying to see like who. Oh, Pon is streaming. Pon is another panda VTuber, and they're one of my closest friends. We could raid them.
Yeah, I'm done for that. If you want to send me their name.
Sure. Let me see. There you go. There we go. Where is our window? There it is. I found it.
Somewhere.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
I gotta quickly
Way
remember. So before I start the raid, thank you. Welcome to the Merchants Guild of the guild. I need to do some more guild lore.
I made it into a guild, guys. I finally did it.
You're gonna have to go on a quest at some point and do something.
It only cost me $4.99. You guys can do the same thing. You want to be in an adventures guild?
I'm. Oh.
It's so cheap. Go on an adventure.
It's just a a subscription fee. Weapons, armor, and all that. But yeah, if anyone has any last minute questions, go for it. I'm gonna set up this raid. The one thing I don't like about raids is the countdown timer. I find really stressful.
Yeah, I found the way to fix it for me is I came up with a catchphrase to put at the end of all of my streams. And I just say it and make it very long until I can hit the raid now button. It's like, make sure you're drinking water and taking your meds. I love you, so you should love you too. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, kind of thing.
Wait, you already answered one of my last questions, which is how do you usually end a stream? But
oh, well there you go.
There we go. All right, we've set up the raid now. So yeah, when is your next stream?
Tonight we're doing community Mario Kart. If you want to play Mario Kart with me, you guys can tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Let's play Mario Kart together. It'll be fun. Come play Mario Kart with me, everybody.
Come play Mario Kart. I don't actually have a raid message, so we'll just go with Panda Bat raid. That'll do.
That's fine by me. Let's go.
But yeah, let's all go see Pan Beauty. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoyed it.
It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure having you. But until next time, bye bye.
Bye bye.